Thank you, Chris. My apologies to those on YouTube. You guys missed a very insightful and brilliant discussion of tariffs, which is basically, I don't think the market takes anything that Trump says on tariffs seriously anymore. So ignore it and just focus on what the charts are telling you. Until we actually go past a deadline and something actually goes into effect, then maybe the market reacts. But I'd say, until that happens, don't let it impact what you're thinking or what you're trading too much anymore. So that's my take on it until something actually happens. And as our good friend Alexander would say, nothing ever happens. So, all right. So, we were just talking about ES from a 4 hour perspective. Does look like we are shifting things a little bit to the bearish side. We did flip that momentum over bearish. Still have some good supports below though. 62.36 being a key one. Below that, we could see a pullback even further, closer to somewhere just south of 672 or 6200. Sorry, I'm looking at 6172 while I was talking. Just south of 6200 there. On the hourly chart, we do have the 333 SMA coming up. We are catching up to the 200. This is a key level to break here at 62.36 as confluence with NTS, also a good support and resistance level. So keep an eye on these levels. Again, watch those for pullbacks, or again, as long as 62.36 is holding, I'd say buy the dip and try to buy it as close to 62.36 as you can from an ES perspective. Obviously, you can use that level to trade SPY contracts, SPX, whatever you like. You don't have to trade it with futures, but it's a good level to watch on the futures chart to potentially take action elsewhere in the market. So that is a quick recap of what we've discussed so far. Again, my apologies for being a little bit behind schedule here, starting the YouTube chat. This is weird. There we go. That looks better. Sorry, this YouTube chat's kind of giving me heartburn this morning. All right, so let's take a look at our one trade plan that we have to review here. MDB, Mongo database. Curious to know, see how this played out from a 5 minute yeah, not really a great confirmed break at all there. A little bit of a bull trap liquidity grab there last Thursday. Also short trading day, so yeah, not surprised to see some shenanigans there, but looks to be forming a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here, and could potentially make a move higher, especially if it does give us a confirmed break over 213.07. So keep this one on watch. I like MDB. If it does break over and give us a confirmed break, I should say, of 213.07, I think that that's going to open up some real nice room to the upside. Sorry. So with that being said, let's get to some new ticker requests. What are you guys wanting me to take a look at this morning? Let's get into it. Chris, I think you were pinging me at some point with, you were like, oh, I'm going to ask for, oh, wait, right there, just popping into requests. XYZ. Let's take a look at XYZ for my homie Chris. One day I'll figure out how to fix that and still have the alerts working. And Baba. Getting greedy, bro. You want all the ticker requests. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Dibs. Called dibs. Alright, yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I had levels on XYZ. Give me 1 sec, folks. Hang on, I think I got my HVAC person here. Give me a sec.
Good morning, guys. Just wanted to reiterate JTW will be right back. We just had to deal with something, so give it a few minutes. Welcome to Xtrades, those that are brand new. Give it a few minutes, guys. Any questions, you guys can feel free to ask in the chat. Hit the show chat window, top right corner, and feel free to bring up any ticker requests, guys. So far, we only have XYZ. And I requested Baba, but if no one else has anything, just feel free to bring it up, guys. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Dirty Name? Thanks for joining. Waiting for JTW to get back. He should be. Give it a couple minutes. He should be back. But yeah, any ticker requests, feel free to bring it up in the chat. Yeah, I guess any in the meantime, if anybody, again, if you have any questions about X trades, any changes that have been going on lately, you guys can feel free to bring it up. I'll be happy to help you out. What's up, Born to Fort? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Navy Plum? Thanks. Appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I was on vacation last week, so just getting back in the mix. Trying to get some trade plans here. I like XYZ setup, so that's why I brought it up. I haven't even checked pre-market levels yet, but I like it above 70, so we'll see how JTW plans this out for us. I think it's got a huge gap up to 74, and then above that, it could make a move towards 80. I'm targeting 100, to be honest, end of the year. So see what happens. Had a huge dump on earnings a couple months ago. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, usually, guys, I always recommend join these live streams as much as possible. Remember, if you have to leave early or if you kind of missed something and when it started, you can always rewatch it on the YouTube. Rewatch it on the YouTube. You know, I sometimes when I miss these, I go back to the YouTube, I rewatch it, and I just skim through it. I increase the playback speed on YouTube. Thankfully, they have that feature. And if you worst case scenario, you can always revert. Just skip through to the actual plan and hear JTW go through it. And learn from this, guys. Learn from it. That's really the goal. Just keep learning. What's up, Report? Good morning. Good morning. Ultimate Nick, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. We're just for those that just joined again, JTW just had something to deal with right now. He should be back in a couple minutes. Again, you guys can hit the show chat window on the top right corner and bring up any ticker requests, and we will get you a trade plan hopefully by the end of the stream. Let me know if you are brand new here and never have seen JTW's trade plans. Let me know. Type a 1 in the chat or something. If I had to guess, like I feel like JTW's trade plans are probably like an 80% win rate, guys. This is why I emphasize so much. Like, just tune in. Just tune in. Even if you take a loss on these trade plans, there's a stop loss in place. There's a stop loss in place, and it takes away the idea that of you having to question, okay, where do I need to take a stop loss, or should I cut the trade here? What should I do now? What should I do now? What should I do now? You're
All
up
right,
20%.
I'm back.
There you go.
What's up, Chris? Thank you very
Back.
much for holding down the fort. I had a these Xtrade guys show up kind of, I wasn't sure
Gotcha,
what
bro.
time they were going to show up, but they were
No
here, so
worries.
I had to show them where stuff was so they could get things squared away for me. How are you, man? How was your trip?
Cool, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah, it was awesome. I'm just getting back in the mix. I was just telling everybody, make sure they join these live streams. I was saying that I don't know if I had to guess, we probably have like at least an 80% win rate on these trade plans. Even if you take a loss on these plans, at least it's a controlled loss, right? And that's the
Yeah.
goal, is just keep learning, keep joining these live streams, and I promise you, you guys will get not only trade plans, but really start to learn and understand the idea behind a big move when we see it. Like it's happened, I mean, countless amount of times where we've had huge wins. And when we get losses, hey, they're controlled, like I said. So
Yep.
um
Yep. Losses are going to happen. Again, we're shooting for profits, not perfection. Um, but as long as we are making sure that we're keeping those losses small and, to your point, controlled and well defined as far as when a plan is no longer valid, and we
yep.
focus on holding for our price targets and not cutting good trades early, right? Water your flowers, pick your weeds, not the other way around. um,
Yep.
we will come out well ahead in the long run, and all of a sudden you start to see that account grow with compounding gains, which is important. All right, so we're doing this XYZ plan for you, Chris. Always had, and yeah, to Chris's point, you know, I would say anecdotally, 80% is probably a pretty close number to what we're actually seeing as far as the success rate goes. But I don't know, Chris's the ones that Chris picks seems they might even have a slightly higher success rate than that. Um, but let's get
We
our heads on a swivel here. Let's get this trade plan figured out here for XYZ. I definitely see why you're liking this one. There's massive just upside fair value gap here that it could just fly through. Um, I'm just a little bit kind of debating with myself where I want the entry and where I want the stops. Those are kind of the first two things to figure out, but it's definitely looks like it's got tons of room if it can break over this 71.59 level to me. Let's take a look at this more recent. Yeah, that's all looking strongly bullish. That's kind of what I was expecting. So I do like that 71.59 as a potential entry based on this prior area of support. I think that also kind of helps clear up where our stop loss should be, which is right here at 69.81. We're reclaiming that as support here pre-market. First target, that becomes the real big question. This is an interesting, really interesting level right here, actually, that I don't have marked yet. But I'm liking that. Let's check this recent price action again. Takes us pretty close to where it tried to bounce there. It could potentially try to stretch a little bit more, but I think that that's a good exit. Again, if I'm kind of debating between two potential price targets and we're already at a point where we should have some really nice profits in hand, I'm going to go with the more conservative of the two levels, that's for sure. There was a quick test on the way down, though, of this 74.40 level. We still be in really great shape from a profit standpoint. I'm gonna, like I just said, nudge this one level even closer to that breakout level there at 71.59. Over that, I think then we get into this range right here at 76.32. And over that, I do like this weekly level. Then there's potential, but again, we're kind of running into another fair value gap kind of entry here, which I would imagine this would be pretty strong resistance if and when we get to 78.08. Could look for something like a scale out the rest of your contracts there. at 78.08. Wait for a little bit of a pullback, see if we get a bounce off of 76.32, and then re-enter. And look for 78.08 again, and then a potential push higher. If we do break through that, I think it will make a move for like 81 and some change. So, yeah, I like that upside plan, and this one definitely looks like it wants to recover. So let's see what the downside looks like. Always be prepared to go either direction. It helps keep your bias out of the equation, which can be very problematic from a trading standpoint. So where does it start to get interesting for downside? That is the question. Lots of little stair steps, lots of quick supports kind of the whole way. I think until it breaks below 65.88. So I know that that's a ways away, but honestly, downside windows of opportunity look fairly limited until that level breaks, in my opinion. I think we can give it room up to this, up to this 67.05 for our stop loss, first target. Let's see. Yeah, 64.38. I like as a first target. Start booking some profits there. Below that, I think we're looking for 62.93. Below that, I think we used this weekly level. That was also one of our price targets from a prior XYZ plan. Clean these up real quick. There we go. That looks good. So yeah, we've got ourselves a couple of trade plans here. So let's lock this in to the trade plan pilot. Whoops, golly. 7s and 1s always mess me up on the number pad. Don't ask me why. Stop loss average. Downside. Yeah. There we go. No shared stop loss on that one. Let's get this locked in. Lines hidden so it's easy for us to see. Whoops. Here we go. All right. And before I forget, let's also set a start line here on when this trade plan really kind of goes into effect. That way, when we look back at it, we'll know. We won't have to guess too much about when we did this plan. And then let's adjust this Y offset some. There we go. That looks good. All right. So, what's up, Ryan Brown? Good morning. Good to see you. Sorry I had to step away for a minute there. Here's your XYZ live stream plan. And post it over here. And so get it posted in the elite chat. Grab our link so we can set some alerts on this. Give it to next week. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. Yeah. Now we can set this alert. 2 minutes 30. Not open-ended. We want this to wrap up next week. And we're good to go there. All right, so let's talk through this one last time, and then we'll move on to the next trade plan here. What are we looking for on XYZ? We're looking for a break over 71.59. That should bring targets at 74.40, 76.32, and 78.08 with a stop loss average down there at 69.81. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 65.88. That should bring targets at 64.38, 62.93, and 61.62 with a stop loss average down at 67.05. Those are your XYZ trade plans. Thank you for the request, Chris. Much appreciated. Big preach, as one of my good friends would say. Looks like MSTR, Apple, CrowdWeave, CoreWeave, what were they? CoreWeave. For my guy, Dirty Name. Anyone prefer Dirty Name? Don't think we'll have time for both. Let's take a look at. Yeah, that was interesting with Cores and CoreWeave yesterday, Chris. I'm kind of interested in both those names right now. All right, let's go with. Well, let's take a look at CoreWeave. I'm kind of interested by this one. It's in the list, or it's in the discussion right now. Actually, this one's played out to both sides of this old trade plan on it. I think there's some levels we could add and adjust here. Yeah, let's take a look at this. I think we did this one pretty quickly given the limited number of levels that I have on it. Let's figure this out. See if anything has, yeah, I was gonna say I'd be surprised if there was much we're gonna find on that weekly chart with it still being so brand new. 166.07 level does seem to be pretty key. Interesting hold down here though on the daily, right there at the bullish momentum bottom, and it's starting to get bought up off of that. I mean, this could be one where as long as 158.56 is holding or we're above that by the time the market opens, this one could make a push. So this could be a buy the dip plan where we're kind of getting in, not waiting for a level to break, just getting in as long as something's holding. Let's see if anything changes my mind on that. Could be just slightly lower. Actually, I don't know. I think we're pretty good with where that level is, to be honest. All right. I think we're going to take a shot at this. I would certainly say, give it a little bit of time to see how it actually settles here going into the open. But I think if we can break above and hold over 158.56, I think we've got a really interesting area or window of opportunity that should take us up at least to this 163.75. I was just looking at all those candlesticks to see if anything changed my mind on that. Yeah, not really. 200 SMA just overhead there. I know that this looks like a tight PT1 and PT2, but it's another $3 on a ticker that's trading around $100. That's a decent area of profit that could be taken there as well, and I certainly would take it there. This needs to be 2 pixels. There we go. Third price target, that's the real question mark here for me. Yeah, I think it's somewhere right in this neighborhood. It's just not super clean or clear to me, but I'm gonna take a shot at it being up here at 170.58 for a third price target. Stop loss average down. I think we can give it room to, yeah, there's a good level right here around 155.41. Right up there. All right, downside, where does that really start to open up? Potentially. Interesting bounce there, but not really. Not really showing any solid or clear support and resistance. I think the level's sitting down here. For a potential downside play. Actually, this level does need to be adjusted a little bit. With that, yeah, actually I like that better. This opens up, I think, a more certain window of opportunity to the downside. Also, first target's already kind of right there for us. Stop loss average down. I think it's going to be somewhere pretty close to this. Yeah, I'll call it 151.99. It's pretty decent to me. All right, so then second and third price targets is the next question. Yeah, there's oops, son of a gun. I didn't want to do that. Sorry. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, second target's going to be right here at about 138.67. Third target. Let's take a shot at it. Going all the way down to 130.73. All right, so those are the trade plans sorted. Let's plug these into the pilot. So we're looking for a break over or at least a hold above 158.56. Targets in one. Gosh dang it. That's 163.75. There we go. 166.07. 170.58. Stop loss average down 155.41. 73, 138.67 and 130.70. 130.73. There we go. Stop loss average down at 151.99. And let's tweak this Y offset just a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. Let's clean this up. All right. Here are the core weave trade plans. One buy shares until 36. Also, okay. Good to know, Ryan. I appreciate your input over there on the YouTube side of things. Here is the trade plan for it. And get that published over here. And let's get it in the elite chat. This in regular trading hours. alert. Right, alerts are set. So let's talk through this one last time. What are we looking for here on CoreWeave? We are looking for a break above 158.56 or a break and hold above. If we hold above it going into the market open here, holding above 158.56 with targets at 163.75, 166.07, and 170.58 with the stop loss average down at 155.41. To the downside, we're looking for a break below 148.87. That should bring targets at 143.73, 138.67, and 130.73 with the stop loss average down at 151.99. Those are your core weave trade plans. Let me, whoa, wrong thing. Alt B, not Control B. There we go. That's our trade plan. Oh, you know what I just realized I forgot to do? Oh, maybe I can go back. We'll see. Forgot to save our XYZ plan to my templates, so it will be there with the trade plan pilot. That looks good, yes. Oh man, let's see if we can skip back far enough to do that. Come on. I had a backward steps. No, not entirely. Come on. Get us back to XYZ. Let's go. Oh, there we go. No, that's the change of the chart. Looking at some different time frames. Let's go. Take us back to XYZ, please. There we go. All right. Boom. Didn't want to lose that. So let's get this locked in before I screw that up again. Tuesday live stream, please. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now they're both locked in. All right. We're getting close to 15 minutes out from market open. I do apologize for the brief interruption there, so I could deal with that HVAC contractor and show them where the issues are so we could get that squared away. But we will be back Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. with no interruptions. So I'm going to go get to work on the SPY plan. I will get that posted in the Elite chat, as I always do every morning before market open. If y'all will come back Thursday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, again, we'll get through some recaps of these existing trade plans, and we'll work on some new ones. So until then, I want to thank you all for joining me this morning, as we always say here on Chart Talk Live. Plan your trades, trade your plans. Remember, we're aiming for profits, not perfection. So keep those wins big, keep the losses small. Go out there and get some green. I will see you all in the chats, and I'll see you back here Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, take care. Thank you again. See y'all Thursday.